Okay, here we are. We're going to do a quick test. Um, hmm. So some of the things that I want to talk about is what this thing is, how you play it, and in another video, maybe breaking down like a build tutorial. Um, this is an Uber modular system, rotationally modular, as well as like some of the components within it. But for just I guess this video, or the first video that I do, it will be talking about how the controls work and basic gameplay. So here we go. So I got two entrances in. Whether I'll have it be a locked door system because I feel like there needs to be like a secondary thing is another story. But um, I think that's something I can handle later, depending on what the exterior is going to look like, and really, it's just tapping into some redstone lines. So we'd either have like a little foyer area with a outer building, or like something where the components can be seen. I really like me some exposed redstone. Just even like a glass floor around this would be just amazing to me. But I will often get sidetracked in just talking about the redstone because it's so amazing. It's like it's just so amazing. But ultimately, I built this card shuffler after watching a bunch of YouTube channels like doing like various things. One Tango Tech built a a giant game. I don't even know if I'd have time to build it, but that was one heavy influence on making something that shuffles cards and then deals them out, surrounded by a bunch of unseen redstone. And with observer blocks and various components, I was able to achieve it. So, let's say we walked into the game, we can see here, here you want to select your seat. By selecting your seat, it tells you to hit the comparator to get a card. Ultimately, that's during gameplay, which I wish I had enough room to put that kind of caveat, but the verbiage on this could eventually change. Um, Needless to say, this would be my seat, for instance. I would select this, and you can hear an auditory confirmation as well as a visual confirmation in the background there. When the game is in session, most of the lights in here will turn off, similar to like a nice intimate card game setting with friends. And only your active player lights will be on. So there'll be lights in the background, and then the card playing area would be kind of like dimly lit with some music in the background, which I will get to. You can kind of see it back there. Um, so I'd have a player here logged in. Oh, and before you would know, right now these switches only work as identifying who is in the game and which stalls are not in the game. It helps the computer below recognize where cards should be dealt and shouldn't be dealt, as well as these switches eventually turning into something that will, as the sign says, to get card. So we've selected our seat. Oh, and just so you know, these are the deal buttons. Once everybody's seated, whoever, essentially shuffles the deck, also would hit the deal button as well. And then, as card games go, you change spot, whether counterclockwise or clockwise. Next, am I missing anything? we covered those buttons. Are there any other buttons around here? Everything else on the wall is mostly, kind of like game room paraphernalia, but related to this particular build. And we have the seat. Below the seat are some droppers that drop the cards in the shuffler, which is right under here. And the table, which, at the end of it, as the sign says, just throw your cards on the table and it will all drop into the shuffler and get shuffled when the system is on. Even though I believe we can still shuffle when it's off. We have some extra cards up here, not for in-game use, but just for storage and for the purposes of, how I save my builds. But they can be removed, and I have alternative decks in here where they're made out of items instead of custom made banners. If you don't got the time to make the banners, you can just use some items, which you can't really see it in here unless I take it out, but they're just regular items from the tools to the armor, denoted by their numbers. Kind of like this one right here. Boom. R10. So that's the red 10. That's the ace of spades. I also put some oars in there to denote the queen. And here's a spades queen. Here's a custom flag for the 10, as well as a 6 for the yellow 6. Did I say a 6? A sword for the yellow 6. I don't know, I kind of really like this little game room I've been building out for the past couple of days. After I built out the redstone, I've just been like trying to look at like, ooh, do I even need all these banners posted up here? The answer is no. It can be changed around, and maybe I'd even extend these trapdoors to form kind of like little wooden columns to kind of enclose this booth a little bit more, making this area a little bit more intimate, but I kind of like this balance of things. This is the jukebox I built out. It basically, once the game starts, continuously plays music for the game players. Here we have. This is the impromptu wall tour that's almost done. Here we have the sign that's right above the game. Reach over and shuffle the cards below. It's literally a push button thing, but also, as I mentioned earlier on, the cards are literally in here. The hope is that once you are in the seat and eyes are forward, you should not be looking down like, oh, what's in here? You can't trade out your hand. That's a no-no. Eventually, I'll play with locking in this booth, but for the time being, we're in Minecraft. You could break blocks, but there's an honor system we play by. But yeah, while you're in your seat, you got access to the shuffle button. Yeah, while the game is off, that shouldn't work because that button is locked. The deal button, however, should be able to work, but nobody is logged into the game yet. So let's log in right here. Log in, or check in, or click in, or hit in. I don't even know what the verbiage we'd use for this, but ultimately hitting that comparator that hits us into the heart side of the red heart side of our card dealer system here. Now when I hit the deal button, I get a card. if my hotbar wasn't filled up so much, I would show the, wait, how many items do I have? Oh, here we go. Let's get rid of these because I already have them up in the ceilings. And I will get a hit for 2, no, let's go 3 cards. Oh, this button does not work while the game isn't working. My apologies, because again, the game is still off. I decided to put this into the system basically as a way to deal out various dispensers just while the game is off. Let's get back in here. Oh, as you can see in the background, so like, and as I'm making this video, I'm like looking at the design as objectively as possible. Like, okay, I'm a player, I can't really see my light on in the background there, so maybe these banners aren't very helpful. You know what I mean? This is the way that I'm thinking about it, even just from sitting at this seat. But I can see it kind of in the corner there. Now this booth is unlocked for me to get cards. And 1, 2, 3. Huzzah. And I get my 3 cards. And the good thing about them being droppers, dispensers are similarly, it's just random which one comes out. So it's like, it feels like a true shuffled deck that you're pulling out of, you know what I mean? And how many spaces? I have 4 spaces. I just don't want to lose any of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huzzah. And I've got 4 cards in.
What did you say?
I'm just making a video.